Yay!
That
And
is so
Salem decided to join us. And that was going on, and she stepped on my book. No, that is not allowed. So I normally forego the introductions because I assume that everybody already knows who we are at this point.
Yeah.
So, well, just for the chat, But I see that Alice is here. Hello, Alice. And Olivia. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody. And Celeste is here. Good evening. Oh, I am so happy. This is the last and final, which means the same thing, but I have to say it, stream for the 12Ks of Christmas Write-a-thon. What a weekend. What a weekend for everybody. Like in the write-a-thon, out of the write-a-thon, like everyone's just had a crazy weekend. So thank you all for joining us on this crazy little adventure. It's really, really cool. So I have to ask, now that we're at the end, how are we feeling?
I feel so bummed because, like I was talking last time, I'm bummed that I didn't get to attend more, but I am still feeling great because I just love any chance that we get to talk to each other. I just think it's so fun. So even though I missed almost all of it, I still had a nice time. So
yeah, and that's been the fun thing too, is just being able to hang out with everybody. And being able to talk with everyone. It's just been so fun. But yeah, I definitely think my husband is happy that this weekend is over because we did like nothing this weekend. But I really am so happy that y'all were so enthusiastic about it. So
yeah.
Yep. So y'all who are in the comments, if that sentence made any sense, how are you guys feeling? Now that we're at the end of the write-a-thon, I'm honestly feeling a lot more relaxed than I have the last couple nights. And I think it's just the finality of it all.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't have to wake up again at 7:30 tomorrow to be there for a stream. So it's kind of like, hi, I can sit back, relax, take my time.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I could ever wake up at 7:30 for a stream. I don't know. I would need a lot of coffee.
Yeah. Well, my husband usually gets up for work at about 6:30, so I just get up with him. So I'm used to being up that early anyway. But on weekends, it's a totally different story.
Right. Yeah.
And I saw that Kelly has popped in. Hello. And the Australian Batman is here. So, Sarah, I'm just going to fill you in real quick. Yaza lives in Australia. And the way that the time zones line up, it makes it seem like he never sleeps. So it's become the joke that he's the Australian Batman, and that instead of throwing ninja stars, he throws flip-flops.
I love that.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
Yaza's hilarious. And Gio is here. He says, I'm feeling pretty good, but pretty tired. Me too, man. I'm glad I'm on Christmas break. Glad I started a new project this week, and glad I'm nearly at 15K into it. Yes. Gio, that's amazing. That's awesome, my friend. And Alice says, it was a great way to kick off my winter break. Got me back into writing after school stole my soul for the past 2 weeks. Yep.
I understand.
School does that, but stay in it. And Celeste says, I got a lot of writing done this weekend outside of the streams, and I'm almost at my goal for today. So that's nice since I won't have to stay up till 3 or 4. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, even though I do that on like an almost daily basis.
Yeah, I used to be a night owl, and I can't stay up. Like if I am up past midnight, I get so grouchy. I get so mad at people. I'm like, why am I still awake? I need to go to sleep.
I totally get that. Because sometimes I feel like I would be like that if I was around anybody.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that I can be sequestered in my room and nobody else is up, that helps.
Yeah. But it's just, I can't stay up past midnight anymore because I used to be able to stay up till like 3, 4, sometimes even 6 in the morning.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I die if I do that. Kelly says, I love these write-a-thons. I always feel so productive. This community is so fun. Yes, it is. It really is. And that's what I love about the AuthorTube community and the writing community on Instagram is that everybody is just so nice and so supportive and so encouraging. It really is just a lovely way to spend your time. It's just, you know, and everyone is so happy and welcoming. Like I've gotten like writing advice from people who I've like never talked to before, but I will just post something on Instagram and someone will respond and be like, oh, I live there. Do you have any questions? I can tell you everything and anything you want to know about it. And I'm like, yes, please.
Please.
But it is just absolutely such a blast. And yes, this community is amazing. Yeah. I'm very happy I stumbled into it.
For sure. I've came from Twitter, and Twitter is so drastically different that like coming to Instagram and YouTube, it's like, oh, I found my home finally.
Yeah, I had a Twitter. I mean, I still have a Twitter, but I don't use it as much anymore. But I just found that the writing community on there is not as receptive as it is on like Instagram or YouTube, you know? Like people aren't as willing to like talk to you unless it benefits them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I don't love. I don't love it at all. The one thing I keep Twitter for is on Saturdays. There's like this shameless self-promotion Saturday, and I just post my book link because you're allowed to on Saturdays. And you know,
that's so fun. I love that.
Otherwise, I steer clear.
That's so fun. I only am on Twitter because there's an artist on there who only posts on Twitter, and I love her artwork. So I just follow. I'm just on Twitter for that. Like I check it every day just for that one thing.
Oh, I love that.
Let's see. Tia says, I'm actually full pantsing Project Blood Point because I'm adding characters into the story. Yeah, I pants a lot too. I'm a plantser. So like I'll plot to a certain degree and then I'm like, yeah, I give up. We're just going to make things up and see how it goes.
I'm the exact same way. Like I get so far if I do outline, I'm like, no, I'm just going to start now. If I'm halfway through, meh, I don't care.
Yeah. That is really what I'm doing now with this third draft. I'm just like, yeah, this is happening. Okay, let's go for it. Because if the program I am in week, do 2 weeks of intense learning and 2 weeks of projects. I just got off with the learning. And when I go back, I start the project part of the cycle. Interesting. Huh. I have never heard of something that does that before, but that's very interesting.
I feel like I would do not well in that.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do well with 2 weeks of straight learning and then you do projects. I think I would need more variation, or else I'd forget it. Like if you have so much learning in a row, I think.
Yeah. And Celeste is the same. She adds new characters all the time out of the blue. I can't say I've ever added a character out of the blue before, but I've definitely added plot points out of the blue before. Like, where did these come from?
Yes.
And Olivia says, I kind of outlined my novella, but I'm already abandoning it. Oh, no. That's how I felt about my NaNoWriMo novel. Like, I just full on shoved it into the corner and was like, nope. So
sometimes space is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It lives on the back burner. So I have to ask for anybody who was aware or wasn't aware. Actually, you can still fill it out if you want to. How is your tree looking? And by tree, I created a little word count tracker where you can cut out ornaments and decorations and put them on a little Christmas tree. So that actually, the link to that should be in the description box. If it's not, let me know. But if y'all want to decorate your tree and take a picture of it and tag me in it on Instagram, please do, because I would love to see the decorations for your tree. I really wanted to do it, but I do not have access to a printer. So I could not. But it's not too late if y'all want to decorate your tree. And if you just want to use it for later, for like some other, writing thing that you want to do. That's totally fine. I thought it was a cute, fun little thing to do.
That's a fantastic idea.
I was like super proud of myself. Like I was showing my husband and I was like, look at this. This is and he just sort of smiles and is like, that's nice, dear.
That's fun.
Oh man, he's funny. And Leo's asking, anybody else dreamcast their novels? I have a full list on my wall of my dreamcast to remind myself that I won't get all these celebrities in my movie if I don't finish the book. I've never dreamcasted my books, ever. And I think it's because I'm afraid that I'm going to make them too specific. And that like if the occasion ever arose where it was turned into a movie, that there's like like the description is just so specific that no one else could fit that. And I'm like, like I'll base it off of people sometimes, but I won't like put them in that role per se.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever dreamcasted either. If I do like mention celebrity names for my characters, it's mostly after the fact, like for promotional before a book release. Otherwise, I don't think I'd do it beforehand because I think I'd be the same way. I'd be too afraid to detail them so accurately to the celebrity. And then it's obvious and weird.
Yeah. Then it's like, let's see. And Olivia says, I'm literally 2.5K words in. And I'm like, well, we don't have to hate each other right away. Yeah, I feel that. And Jessica's here. Hi, Jessica. So nice to be both in. Alice says, I don't dreamcast my novels because if any of my novels get turned into movies or TV shows, I want them to pick an unknown actor. Yes. That is also a great thing. Is I love it when they pick unknowns. Because actually, I forgot who I was talking about with this, but they recently, what they like to do is they like to pick big names because they know that's what's going to bring in the crowds. But they're not necessarily people who have good chemistry with each other or fit that character. So that's why people I forgot who I was talking to, but we were saying that we like it when they cast unknowns because they're going for that chemistry, the right fit, and we just appreciate that more. So Alice, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, that's awesome that you thought of it that way.
The tree tracker is so cute. I didn't use it, but starting Friday up to now, I wrote 8,000 words. Well, that's awesome. You know what? We can go print it out now and put 8 decorations on your tree. And you know what? You can just keep going too until you get all 12. It's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all.
Yes.
And Abby is here. Hey, Abby. And Pedro. Hello. And she also says, I understand why people would want unknown actors in their book to movie adaptations, but I just can't get KJ Apa out of my mind. Goodness gracious. I have never seen Riverdale. I think, is that the show that this dude is on? Yeah. I've never seen it, so I have no idea what he looks like.
I liked the first season. I don't know how I feel about the other ones. That's
a CW show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've given up on the CW.
Yeah.
I saw what they did with Nancy Drew, and I was like, no.
Yeah, yeah. I used to watch The Vampire Diaries, and that was the last show I think I watched on the CW. It's an interesting channel.
Yeah. And Zara agrees. I'm assuming that's for the unknown actors. Maybe choosing unknown actors over known actors. But yeah, I just think that's a great idea. That's one of the reasons why I love Star Wars so much. For every new trilogy, and even the standalones, they find people who are not big names.
Right.
And I love that. It's so refreshing. But I'm also a huge Star Wars fan, so we're not going to get into that tonight. And Jessica says, I recently read that Henry Cavill was in the front running for both Cedric Diggory and Edward Cullen. I'm sorry. All I'm imagining is Superman, like big buff Superman in a Hogwarts Hufflepuff uniform. And I don't know what to do with this image.
Or as a sparkly vampire.
A sparkly vampire. Oh, God.
Wow. I mean.
I can't get that image out of my head now.
How old would he have been for those roles, though?
How old is he now? I don't even know how old Henry Cavill is now.
I'm going to look it up. I'm like, wait. He'd have to... I don't know.
He's not the same age as... I was about to call him Edward Cullen. He's not the same age as Robert Pattinson. Is he? Oh,
no,
okay.
Henry's 37. Yeah.
Okay, he's 37. Okay.
And then Robert Pattinson is 34.
Oh, so they're not that far off.
No.
Wow, Robert Pattinson looks young. He's got like a baby face.
That's funny. I cannot imagine Henry Cavill playing a teenage role.
I can't. Well, my introduction to Henry Cavill was Superman, and Man of Steel.
Right.
And so that's just how I always envision him now, is muscle brawny man.
Yeah.
And so trying to picture him as anything other than that is like, how does one do that? Like, wow.
I don't know. How crazy would that have been?
Oh my gosh. That would have been nuts if Henry Cavill had actually landed those roles. That would have been so funny. It would have been so different. But honestly, Robert Pattinson was adorable as Cedric Diggory. Definitely not in Twilight. Sorry, I apologize to anybody who likes those books and those movies. It's just I personally was very disappointed in them because when I grew up, vampires disintegrated in the sun. They didn't sparkle.
Yeah, that's a very interesting choice.
Have either of you seen Enola Holmes? He plays Sherlock, which is nice, but his body type is so wrong for the character. I have seen Enola Holmes. I did see it, and I have a kind of a love-hate relationship with that film because I thought it was very cute. I thought that Millie Bobby Brown and the guy who plays Tewksbury, I thought that they were adorable and they worked really well off of each other. And I actually didn't think that Henry Cavill's Sherlock Holmes was that bad. Like, I was kind of open to that version of him. But I agree with you, Sara, that he does not look like a Sherlock Holmes. Because if you guys have actually read Sherlock Holmes is a junkie and a drunk. He is a mess. And the closest and most accurate adaptation of him in the time period, I guess I should say, that the stories take place is Robert Downey Jr.'s. Because he was into gambling. He did boxing. He got high off of stuff. He was drunk. He's an asshole. Like, he's a terrible person. So Robert Downey Jr. actually had the best portrayal of him based off of the books. But Henry Cavill's Sherlock Holmes was still very enjoyable, and I enjoyed that take of him too. But Sara, if you haven't seen Enola Holmes, I do actually recommend it. It is just kind of a fun little movie to watch.
I have to. My mom watched it without me, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to watch it.
Oh no! You should definitely see it. It's just it's just a cute way to spend like a couple hours. Look up photos of Henry Cavill from Red Riding Hood, and it will all make sense. Oh, I'm scared. Should we look up pictures of Henry Cavill from Red Riding Hood?
Yes.
Okay. So Henry Cavill, Red. I'm scared, y'all. Oh, it's from 2006. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna have to stop showing the fireplace for a second. Hold on a second.
I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, let me just make sure that this Okay, there he is. Isn't he adorable? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's so precious. Look at that little face.
Look at his little smile. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'll go back to the fireplace now. Hold on a second. Oh, Bree just got here. Hi, Bree. You want to see Henry Cavill in Red Riding Hood, or did you see it?
I know. I'm sorry because I just finished dinner, so I didn't see it.
We'll pull it back up for Bree's sake because that's been the topic of conversation recently. So there you go.
Wait, is that real?
That's real. Yeah, Jessica just told us to look that up, and I'm loving it.
Wow, what a glow up he had.
I know. Oh Lord. Okay, I'll stop sharing it. I'll go back to the fireplace now. It's absolutely hilarious. I love that so much. Let's go to the fireplace.
You know, Zara made a comment, actors in their 30s always play teenagers. And I had this thought the other day, like, I wonder if it's on purpose because, like, you wouldn't. So, like, in a TV show, like, say, The Vampire Diaries, those people, I think a few of them might have been in their teens, but a few of them were also older. But I wonder if people do that, like, so they can, I don't know, like, so people can find them attractive.
Maybe.
Because, like, you wouldn't use actual teenagers because those are minors. People are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they do it like, if studios do it that way just to, I don't know. Because, like, Disney Channel always has younger teenagers.
I do technically know, and I don't know if it's just still because of why, but it's because of child labor laws. If you're 18, you're a child, and there's a lot of laws that have to go along with that, and you can only work so many hours.
Yeah.
So it's easier to use adults who don't have those restrictions.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Because I know that, like, if you're a child actor, there's only a certain number of hours you can work, and you always have to have a parent or guardian, like, there with you on set. So.
Yeah. And I know, like, just in, like, working in the restaurant industry as a minor, like, I could only work, like, 4 hours at a time. And then I had to have a break, like a half-hour lunch. And then, like, if I had, like, if depending on how many hours, like, I had to have, like, so many breaks and this amount of time, or else, like, they could get sued. So.
Right. Same here.
Yeah.
And Jessica, I agree. I don't think Henry Cavill will have a wrong body type. Although I will say, if y'all have never seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E., it's based off of a TV show from the 60s that my dad actually made us watch when we were kids. And it's fantastic. It's kind of like a parody spoof of James Bond. But they, like, try to take themselves seriously, but they also know that they're, like, making fun of James Bond. It's great. They made a movie, and Henry Cavill plays Napoleon Solo. And Armie Hammer plays Ilya Kuryakin, and it is a riot of a movie. It is so, so funny, and they are hilarious in it. I highly recommend it. If you're looking for, like, a really funny, cheesy, feel-good movie, go watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E., y'all. It's so fun. And Zara, yes, I will always, always appreciate Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes because he is the most accurate portrayal of Sherlock I've ever seen.
I like his. I might have only seen his, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I really liked it.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to.
You're fine.
But I was just thinking, too, actually, the most accurate portrayal of a Watson as well. Because in the books, Watson is not an elderly gentleman or a bumbling idiot. He's, like, just as smart as Sherlock. And he's kind of younger. And Jude Law as Watson was fantastic. So Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law, that just got, like, everything right to me. Yeah. That's about as good of an adaptation of Sherlock Holmes as I think we've ever gotten.
I just feel like Jude Law can do no wrong. I love that man. And everything he's ever played. He's one of my favorites.
He's a really good actor. I do enjoy watching him. And Jessica says, Bree, you're right about the child labor laws.
I know things.
And then Sarah says they don't use actual teens because of acne.
That's such a myth because I'm like I'm pushing 30 over here, and my acne game is getting worse with age.
Yeah, right. Mine too. Alice says they could use 18 to 20-year-olds, but not 30-year-olds. Yeah, I think it's weird when you have a 30-year-old playing a 16-year-old. It's like, we can tell you're not in high school, friends.
Yeah, I think they're getting a little bit better, but like part of it as well is because, I mean, and I'll just throw it out here, sorry for like the uncensored, but like sex scenes as well, especially, I mean, you can think Riverdale, like I think sometimes too, even pushing that 18 to 20-year-olds, like those some intense scenes.
Yeah, you don't want to use minors for scenes like that, you know?
Yeah, can't, because that's a whole
there's a whole nother lawsuit waiting to happen on that one.
Yeah.
Right.
And Olivia says it's so good. Man from U.N.C.L.E. is one of my faves. Yes, I was really, really pleased with the movie because I grew up watching the TV show because, again, my dad was a fan. And we loved the TV show. We loved making fun of it. It was amazing. We love Napoleon Solo and we love Elia Kuryakin. And so when the movie came out, we just loved them even more. It was like, this is amazing. So
the movie wasn't. It was only like a year or two ago, right? That it came out, or maybe it's a little bit longer now.
I think it's a little bit longer now.
It seems like yesterday.
I think it was like 2017, maybe 26. I don't know. It's somewhere around there, I think. Mm-hmm. And yes, Sarah, I know Ducky and NCIS is Elia.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so happy. Like that was my reaction when I first saw NCIS was Elia. Yes, he is Elia Kuryakin, and he's amazing. And Jessica says, I haven't seen any modern show, such a movie that was as bad with age appearance as Grease.
When you I will understand. I can totally understand that because when you like watch it like back and you're like, they're grown adults. They're not teenagers.
No, I mean, I'm gonna go on record here and say I actually don't like Grease. Am I allowed to say that, or am I gonna get kicked off of my own stream?
No, okay, we respect opinions here.
Okay. But I just never got into it. I never really liked John Travolta, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, they don't look like teenagers. Like they look like adults. Yeah. And I'm like, y'all know it's like very questionable when you have adults hanging around a high school, right?
Right. And I feel like there was, I feel like that movie could have been better. I feel like I didn't like the end, how she like changed everything about
him. Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. Also, someone pronounce this for me. Cha-cha what's DeGregorio?
DeGregorio.
Thank you. Was 30.
I'm trying to. Oh my God, which is that Rizzo?
Oh,
I gotta look at it now.
I do think that's funny though when they try to have 30-year-olds pass off as teenagers, and I'm like, no.
Well, there's like a show, Legacies, on the CW. I remember while I was watching it. One of the characters is 16, and she's literally 29. It's like you can tell too, like why.
Yeah.
Like there are some actors where it's like you like they look younger than they are, you know? So it's like that I can understand if you're like casting someone who looks like they could be that age but aren't.
Right.
But
I feel like Tom Holland is like the best and worst example because like Tom Holland had such like a baby face and he does look younger. But then he's ripped with like a 16 pack, and that is not ideal. Like teenage bodies cannot get that ripped unless you're taking something.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, he does have like that little baby cute. I'm gonna put your cheeks, and then you see him do like the lip sync battles and stuff, and you're like, all right.
Also, though, I still don't think anything could. I mean, even though I do respect Grease, that's a good contender. Riverdale, by far, I think is like the worst offender for every bad decision made. Even though like it's such a guilty pleasure show, it's still terrible. Like they're all like older, and I think some of them are pushing 30. So
Yeah, I've heard that what is it, that Riverdale, like there's just so much that surrounds that show, and most of it I've heard has not been good.
It is a wild ride.
Yeah. Olivia says she's the girl that Danny dances with at the dance in the blue dress.
Yes, I forgot. I remembered the character Cha-Cha now. For a reason, I was thinking you meant the actress's name.
Yeah. Oh, I thought too.
The actress who played Rizzo was 33. I don't know these people. I'm just going to assume that y'all do.
Rizzo was like one of the main, other than like Danny and what's her face.
Michael J. Fox could pull it off. Back in like when he like Back to the Future, like that era, he does look younger than I think he actually was at the time. And Tom Holland, he was just like popped out of the wound, ripped.
Yeah.
ISTG? Is that Instagram? What is ISTG?
I'm assuming it's Instagram.
Okay. Oh, I think she meant popped out of the womb, like WOMB. Maybe, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that would be hilarious.
That would be.
If you just pop out of the womb with Arnold Schwarzenegger muscles and like, I can't really think of anyone else who like in my real life, I can think of people who look younger than they actually are. Example being my little sister, because I look at her and I'm like, "You're 12," and she's like, "No, I'm almost 20." And I'm like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
But as far as actors go, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes how old they are.
Yeah. So I was kind of right. So a lot of I was just looking up the Riverdale cast. So Cole Sprouse is only like a year younger than me. So he's 28. And
wow.
I do think I haven't watched, I'm not caught up on Riverdale, so I haven't watched the last season at all. But I think they aged them up to 18 in the last season. But
how old were they originally?
16.
Oh, they were like, yeah.
So he was still playing like a character 10 years younger than he is.
Wow. He's just always going to be, Zach and Cody. That's just always what they're going to be to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Esteban, Julio, Ricardo, Montoya, De La Rosa, Ramirez. The things you remember from your childhood. Oh, man. I miss that show.
I was rewatching it on Disney Plus the other day.
Oh, that's so awesome. I need to see, and I know that we were talking about this yesterday, Bree, but I need to see The Mandalorian. That's what I need to catch up on Disney Plus. But I also kind of want to see the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. Just because it looks hilarious. And just the fact you have all three different timelines, like trilogies, like meeting each other. I love that. I want to see the chaos that ensues.
That sounds fun. I watched the first Legos movie that was like the Lego movie, and I loved it. So I probably would enjoy it, but there's too many now. It got out of control.
You've got to love the Lego Batman movie, though.
I haven't watched it. So I only
watch it.
Well, because there was too many. I can't. I don't.
You have to make an exception for Lego Batman. Please make an exception for Lego Batman.
If you think my list of books is out of control, like on my TBR shelf, you should just wait for the list of movies. Like I'm a meme when it comes to movies, because everyone will be like, "You should watch this," and I'll be like, "Okay, I'll put it on my list." There's no list.
All right, so Bree, let me tell you what you need to do. You need to take that list and you need to put it in the trash, and then you need to take Lego Batman and put it in your DVD player and watch it. Lego Batman is such a sweet film, and I can't believe I'm calling a Batman movie sweet, but it is just, you will love it.
A lot of people liked it, so
yes,
maybe we'll just see. But I just don't. My life is consumed by work, writing, and reading, guys. I don't do much else, and video games.
I just watch too many movies. When I get bored, I'm like, I haven't seen this film yet. Click.
I can't sit there, because if I sit down, I feel like I need to do something else. So, yeah.
It depends on the movie I'm watching. Like if I'm watching a Chris Nolan movie, I have to pay attention.
Oh yeah.
If you look away for a second, you're gonna miss something, and then you have to start the whole movie over.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jessica says she's the same. Watched a couple of new movies during October prior to that. the last new thing I watched was The Witcher. I want to see that. Oh, but someone was telling me that if you don't play the games, you're not going to understand the movie or the show. Is that true? Okay.
What I will say is it's different than the games.
Mm-hmm.
And they did tweak things around a little bit to like make it better.
Mm-hmm.
But what I am going to tell you is that it's not that if you haven't played the games, it's if you don't continue with the show, you're going to be confused because it like pieces together things.
Okay.
But it's over episodes. So like because the first couple episodes, I'm like, I really like it, but I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something. And then it's like, eventually you get to the one and you're like, oh, everything connects.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because someone said that, like when it first came out, they were like, "Oh yeah, if you don't play the games, you're not gonna understand the show." And I'm like, "But that defeats the whole purpose of making the show, doesn't it?"
Yeah. So I don't think it does because I know a little bit of the show the games just because my best friend, it's like her favorite game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But I just listened to her ranting, so I've never actually played it, and I was fine.
Jessica says she's never read or played any of them, but she loves it. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to watch it then.
Do you know what adaptation was like the absolute worst in my opinion?
Assassin's Creed?
No, I didn't hate. I mean, Assassin's Creed were bad. But like as someone who also didn't play the game, I didn't hate it as a movie. It was just a little weird.
Oh, I absolutely hated the movie. And I love the games. That was, I think, my issue was I played so many of the Assassin's Creed games and I love them. And so I was watching the movie and I was like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah, so did my husband because he's a big fan. But no, so the ones that I could say that like, I mean, that's definitely one of the worst ones, but also video game adaptations are just so hard. Like, I don't know why people keep trying to do it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But book adaptation, and I've not read the book. But we watched Cursed, which is the Arthur retelling.
Oh yeah,
that is the worst show I've ever seen in my entire life, guys. Like it made such a mockery of Arthur, and I love that lore. And oh my god, it was so stupid. Like literally, this happened in episode 1, and I almost made a rant review on my channel because of how passionate I was about how it did. But like things literally happen in the show. Like there's like this whole in like the episode 1, like there's a whole sequence of like magic never brought up again. Like just I don't know why it happened. I don't know why it was there, and that happens consistently. Like it was a train wreck.
That's so. I mean, I've heard again. That's another show that I've heard a lot of mixed things about. Like people either loved it or hated it. There's like no in between.
I tried to be very fair. And I literally I wish I didn't waste my life on watching that.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Merlin?
No, that was actually what I wanted to watch. Oh. It's on that is on the list.
I really, really, really love Merlin. That is
I love the actors in it. That's why
one of my favorite shows of all time. You will be swooning the entire 5 seasons of it because every season someone very attractive comes walking on screen and you're like, oh no, I can't handle anymore. No.
Yeah.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, I really before Cursed came out, I wanted to watch it. And I do have like in my next queue. Like that is an actual list. But my husband didn't want to, and I'm like, this makes no sense because you are much more into Arthurian lore than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But he wouldn't watch it with me. And the one girl from Supergirl is in it, and I'm like, you like her, like we should just watch it. So then we watched Curse instead, and we literally, as soon as the thing ended, and I'm like, now do you want to watch Merlin? Because I feel like this has to be better.
Oh, Merlin is so good. It's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that show. 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
Oh my gosh.
Zara says, I heard Cursed was awful, which is so disappointing because it looked cool. I thought it looked so cool too. I was gonna watch it, and then I heard how much people were hating on it, and I was like, oh, maybe not. Because I like the Arthur legend, like I like Arthurian like legends and stuff, and I don't mind retellings.
No,
but I mean, I feel like you've got to, if you're doing a retelling, you got to respect the source material.
This is the problem. It's not a retelling. And this is my biggest problem of the show, is that it's like a prequel, but the worst prequel that's ever existed, because like that's literally just like setting it up for like what Arthurian lore would be, like looking back at the Sword of the Stone, and that's why it's like so confusing, because they're pitching it as a retelling, but it's not really retelling, but they're still changing all the elements and like giving different backgrounds, even though it's the same exact story.
Yeah.
That was the most frustrating part, honestly.
Make the rant video. Make the rant video.
I don't know, because the problem is I'm afraid that like if I want to do a good rant video, I have to watch the show again, and I don't want to.
Bree, let me tell you, if I have the strength to get on the internet and tell everybody how much I adore The Last Jedi, you have the strength to get on there and tell everybody how much you hate Cursed.
You should do like a reaction to it, like rewatch it again and film your reaction.
Yes.
Do you guys watch what's his name? He's like a big male author tuber / booktuber. I'm blanking. He's like the biggest male both that I've seen, but he watched episode 1 and like tore it to pieces. And was like, he's like, I'm not subjecting myself to watching the rest of the series. And like in me as like in like the audience, I'm like, I need you to, because because everything that you said, like, so if you watch his video, all of my problems are the same, plus with some, because he was already calling out things that he's like, I don't know where this would go. And I'm like, nowhere.
Yeah.
So
I hate it when things like look so promising and then they like,
yeah, we'll see. Maybe I will add it to the docket. I really don't want to
make the rant video. If it makes you feel any better, I've been going back and forth about doing like movie related like rant videos again. I just don't think I can subject myself to watching the movies that I originally was going to watch, because I was going to rip The Last Airbender apart, but I understand that going back and watching it is impossible.
Yeah, at least when it's different when it's like a movie versus like a show with like hour long, because like a movie at least you can watch like 2 hours. Like I have to invest 10 more hours of my life.
Yeah,
and that's painful.
But the thing that I don't understand is Curse is about the Lady of the Lake, right? So did she put the sword in the stone for Arthur to get, and then she goes in the lake and just lives there? Like, I'm so confused. Like, how does he get the sword? Because half of the time it's from the stone, and the other half it's from a hand in the lake.
So no one knows.
Clearly, if they're making a show about it.
So again, it's not really like it's like loosely a retelling, but more of a prequel, and it's like a prequel following the Lady of the Lake before she becomes the Lady of the Lake. But
okay,
it's just so bad.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
Zara saying Camelot wasn't as good as Merlin, but I'm positive it was better than Curse. I've never seen Camelot. I've just seen Merlin, and I love Merlin. He's so adorable. And I don't know who JCB is. Someone help me out here.
I have no idea.
Who's JCB?
I'm sure once I say it, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think in my head what the initials are.
John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Smith. Jessica, who's JCB? Once Upon a Time tackled Arthurian legend, and I wanted to scream. Once Upon a Time has tackled everything, and I want to scream.
Yeah, honestly, that's what I think hurt me so much with that show, is because like why did they have to like start branching out into to non-fairy tales? Because as much as like I technically, I guess you could argue like Wicked is a fairy tale of some sorts, but like it's not a classic. Like that was just from last century. Like I just wish they stuck to like the fairy tales, because that's another one. They started opening all these doors, and then just like they stopped. They tried to do a spin-off of like Once in Wonderland, which I did like, but then they never brought those characters back. And it's like, why? Why did you do that? But yeah, the Arthur lore I did not like at all. Was not good.
And Gio says, I hate when things are so promising and then you watch them and they're awful. Well, as much as I am a Star Wars fan, Rise of Skywalker, I'm looking at you. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed that movie until about the hour and 50 mark. And then I just got really depressed, and I stayed depressed for the rest of the day. And it depresses me to this day, a year later. So,
I mean, there's a lot with that trilogy that I just can't. That's another rant in itself.
Yeah, I rewatched the trailer for The Last Jedi because I wanted to evoke the memories I had the first time I watched it. And I love that movie. I really do. And I will defend it until the day I die. But it's just so polarizing, that whole sequel trilogy. And I'm like, can we just enjoy them for what they are? Except for the last 10 minutes of Rise of Skywalker, and then everybody get mad about that.
I just wish they didn't change directors. I liked the first movie and I thought it was promising, but I feel like the change of directors is what was a downfall. And I did not like, I didn't like The Last Jedi. Like, that's where I would more lean. There were elements that I liked. And the same thing for the last movie. Like, it was promising, but I felt like it was trying to redo everything that The Last Jedi did, and it was a mess.
That's what I never understood is why are you going to spend half of your movie undoing what the previous movie did? Yeah. Why can't you just, because you can take that, and if you want to change it, you don't have to blatantly do it. You can, like, incorporate it into your story. And J.J. Abrams just had, like, no chill. And I'm like, dude, please. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stop messing things up. Go with it.
I think it was, maybe it was a TikTok, though. And it was, like, when they had, like, season 3 or season 2 of The Mandalorian finale and, like, the acclaim it's getting. And now we have, like, the Anakin Kenobi show. Yeah. And it was, like, and at the end, it was just, like, J.J. Abrams out of a job.
I love it. That is so funny. Oh, and JCB is Jamie Campbell Bower.
See, I thought that was the first thing that came into my mind. But I'm like, there's no way she was meeting him. There's no way. But yeah,
a lot. I love him. So yeah.
Yeah.
There are multiple stories about him getting it from the Lady of the Lake or the Stone. I always heard it was from the Stone, but I also grew up watching Sword in the Stone, the Disney movie with Archimedes.
Yeah.
And Jekyll and Hyde sucked. Did they make a movie?
Oh, maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming she's talking about Once Upon a Time, because that was awful. Like, why did you include that in Once Upon a Time at all?
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, why would you have Jekyll and Hyde in Once Upon a Time?
Because they went to, like, a whole new world. Like, this is when I really was just like, this. Am I just watching this because it's familiar now, or like, am I actually enjoying it? Because they went to, like, this land of untold stories, and it was like stories that weren't fairy tales. It was terrible.
I stopped watching it after the first season, so I'm kind of glad for that.
They should have stopped. Well, that's the problem, is I feel like it's a show that, like, season 1 was so good, but they, like, kind of wrapped it up in season 1 in the event that they didn't get a second, like, season out of it. And then they got, like, the second season and they just went, ooh, here we go. And it just was a mess after that.
Yeah. Gio was saying the same was with La La Land. He loved it until the end. That's really how I was with Rise of Skywalker. I was so hopeful going into that movie for reasons I'm not going to say on here because I'm going to get so much hate for it. And then J.J. Abrams killed it, literally.
I mean, I would agree. There was so much. I have a whole, like, what I would have rewritten that as, because, like,
Rant's video. Let's do a collab.
We should just have a rant live stream together about, like, how we write The Rise of Skywalker. Yes. I thought my idea was brilliant, and it would have made it so much more powerful, and it would have made, like, continuation so much better, personally.
Wait, I missed the first part. You thought what was more powerful?
I didn't say. I just said, like, what my idea was.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's so much just more interesting, like, to do, like, book spinoffs and stuff like that, because like, would have been more implications there, and, like, more of a, like, a building back up to what was, essentially.
Yeah. It's just, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
It made me so sad. Like I was like, this is supposed to be something that ends on like a happy note, and I was not happy by the end of that movie.
No, I was mad and raging and ready to quit the theater.
I was just depressed. I was like, you have, and okay, I'm just gonna get myself away anyway. You have these two characters who you literally have spent the entire movie saying they are two halves of one whole, and you're going to just kill one of them off and make the other one live by herself on a sand planet like she started on? Excuse me? How is that good? Like, it just made me so sad. I'm like, why have a redemption if you're just gonna like basically curse the characters anyway?
Yeah.
Also, so my idea then, if we're gonna go there, so my idea is really brief, but it basically like I think she should have sacrificed herself if they were gonna do that, like star-crossed lovers almost. Because I kind of was rooting for them, but if they were gonna kill one off, I think they should have killed off Rey. I think she should have sacrificed herself, making Kylo then choose to be that like new start to the Jedi, reclaiming the Skywalker name. And like, and then that had the implication of like, how do you rebuild something when you've created yourself as an enemy to everyone, but now you're trying to be good?
Bree, I love you because that was literally my theory before I saw the movie. My theory was that Rey was going to die, and that was the thing that sort of kicked Kylo off into being like a good guy again, you know, and like part of her redemption was her. Bree, can we go write a Star Wars movie together? Can we go rewrite the Rise of Skywalker? We'll call it The Last Skywalker, which is what it should have been. Because if you think about it, the dark side won. Palpatine succeeded in destroying the entire Skywalker line. Yeah. How is that happy? J.J. Abrams, look at me, DJ. How is that happy?
J.J. Abrams like comes out of like, I hear my name.
He just comes walking into the hotel room like, excuse me?
Ready to fight. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, I do kind of wish. I mean, I don't wish ill upon Rey. They already did her dirty. They did everybody dirty. But
they had a good cast and a good set of characters to build with.
And it was so funny too because I feel bad for Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley because they like both fought for their characters. Like Adam Driver was constantly fighting for Ben Solo, you know, and Rian Johnson was like the only one. I say only one. I mean, there were only two directors, but Rian Johnson was the only one who allowed that duality, you know. And JJ was like, "Nope, we're going back to you being Kylo." And Adam Driver was like, "No." And JJ was like, "Okay, fine, we'll kill you."
Such a mess.
It is such a mess of a film, and the only reason why it's like at the forefront of my mind is because it's the 1 year anniversary of it, and so people on Instagram are like making jokes about it.
Yeah.
So
I'm still not over it.
Jessica says I've only ever seen the original trilogy, so I have zero idea what we're talking about. Well, let me throw something up there then. If you ever watch the sequel trilogy,
it's too late. Yeah.
We just completely ruined those films for you. I'm so sorry, Jessica. Oh man. Well, before we end our little thing, I have one more little banner. What is everybody thankful for this holiday season? And everybody can answer. You all have the floor.
Okay. I think I'm really thankful. I mean, it's gonna sound kind of cheesy, but like for this community, like I feel like this is with you two lovely ladies. This is one of the first times. Like, I mean, I know we did with the writing retreat, but we never really talked outside of that. So I just really love chatting with you and listening with you, and I'm really thankful for this.
Aww. That's so sweet.
I love it. I mean, I'm going to be thankful that you guys let me rant. I'm sorry. I'm like such a commanding presence when I get heated.
No, you're fine. Seriously, Bree, if you ever want to do that live stream or do a collab video or just rewrite a Star Wars movie, please get in contact with me. because I will happily be part of that with you.
I mean, we could. Oh my God, Maddie. I mean, Google Docs, you can live write, because that's how me and my like co-writer do it, where we both have the Google Doc and we can write. Like we could do a live like of us writing the script together.
Like a live rewrite of Rise of Skywalker. Yes!
You need to do it.
Okay, Bree, we need to plan this. We'll get on that.
Oh my God. But otherwise, I'm gonna be cheesy too, but I am super thankful for this community, because honestly, like when lockdown and everything was hitting the worst, like I found this community, and it's been so wonderful getting to know everyone and like having people that I can just like chat with and talk about books and all that. But I'm really excited for that. And then of course, like I'm grateful that my family is healthy right now, and I hope they stay healthy, because I'm not going to see all of them for their benefit of staying healthy. And I'm at least thankful that I have my husband, and we can bother each other by watching Wonder Woman on Christmas.
Yes, that'll be so fun. Well, going off of what both Sarah and Bree said, I'm just extremely, extremely thankful for this little corner of AuthorTube and all the wonderful people that I've met on it. Because even like at the beginning of this year, I had no idea that I was going to find like such awesome people and make such wonderful friends. And that has just made this whole year a million times better, and has made 2020 way more bearable. To be able to like hang out with y'all and talk with you guys and get to know you and talk writing and movies and rewrites that we're totally going to do, Bree. It's just been such a blessing, and I'm really, really happy for it. And Gio says he's thankful for all of you. Aw, well, we're thankful for you, Gio. And Sarah says the AuthorTube community and my dog. Yes, always thankful. Yeah, I'm thankful for my kitties and for my husband too.
The afterthought.
Did you hear what he said?
He was muffled.
He said, I see where I am on the totem pole. Yeah.
Always below the animals.
Yeah. Hi, honey. I love you. Nikki says, my dad had heart surgery 2 days ago, so I'm thankful that he's okay, and I'm thankful for this community and for being so supportive. Yes. Oh, well, I'm so glad that your dad's surgery went well, Nikki, and I'm really, really happy that he is on the mend, because that is always, always a blessing. Mm-hmm. That is a very, very fun thing to do.
Surgery was terrifying, and then you put it on heart surgery, so yeah, definitely happy to hear that.
And Jessica says, I'm definitely thankful for how much the community has grown this year, and that it always responds to my crazy let's write for 36 hours idea. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole community has just been so welcoming, and it's just been so fun, like talking to everybody. I love it. I love it. Good holiday fuzzy feel. Oh man. I'm trying to figure out if I have any other banners here.
Making sure before we hit the part.
I have so many banners. Like it's kind of a.
Oh my God.
If you're ready, we're gonna get out of things. We're doing 5-minute mad dash. No. No, we're not doing a 5-minute mad dash. But if you all haven't already, please go support the wonderful Sarah Sutton and the wonderful Bree Buonomo. Everyone's channel and Instagram are linked down below. So if you want to go subscribe to them, follow them, give them a big thumbs up on every single one of their videos, please go do that, because they deserve it. They are wonderful, lovely human beings, and I absolutely adore them. Everybody in the description box below is like my favorite people on the planet. So but that is pretty much all I have for y'all. And again, thank you all so much for doing the 12 Ks of Christmas with me. I had such a great time writing with everybody and getting to know people better, and just that y'all were willing to join me on this adventure this weekend. And Sarah and Bree, and to all my other wonderful co-hosts and friends, thank you so much for being so receptive to the idea. It really does mean the world to me that y'all were willing to come with me. And I just could not have done it without you guys. So seriously, thank you. You all are what I'm thankful for this holiday season. So do you guys want to say anything before we peace out for the night and for the weekend, for the holidays?
I'm good.
You did a great job. Yes, happy holidays. You did a great job, Maddie. I think we're good.
Okay. Well, on that note then, I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas, a happy new year. Good luck with whatever you're doing for the rest of 2020. And we will see you all again come 2021. So y'all have a great evening. Happy holidays. And we'll